Why are you looking for a job?
Everything costs money. Gas, clothes, fun.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most relatable That 70s Show moments.
And I just want to say, when my time comes, I want to be buried face down, so that anyone who doesn't like me can kiss my ass.
For this list, we'll be looking at the scenes and storylines from the sitcom That 70s Show that make us most empathize with the characters. If there's a That 70s Show moment that burns with familiarity that you're burning up wasn't on our list, share your favorites in the comments. Number 10. Eric working in the fast food industry. Whether you grew up in the 70s or not, chances are you got your first job when you were a teenager.
Why do you want a career at Fatso Burger?
I just think it will be a wonderful experience.
My girlfriend's dad owns it.
I love the uniforms.
Eric gets his at local fast food chain Fatso Burger. And all the hallmarks of having a job in high school are here. Being unable to see your friends and love interest, being exhausted all the time, and being in a thankless service position. Come to think of it, that's not just high school jobs.
Hey, Eric, I'm meeting everyone at the hub. You want to go?
Nope, I gotta work.
Hey, Eric, I'm going to see a movie. You want to go?
Nope, I gotta work.
Regardless, Eric eventually quits, which, as Red explains, is quite common for first jobs. Sometimes it takes experiencing a job you hate to figure out what you want out of a career.
But now I'm my own boss. Well, that's not true. I answer to a lot of people.
Okay, I quit now.
Oh yeah, I certainly would.
Number 9. Eric's post-breakup state. As much as we feel for both parties involved during Eric and Donna's breakup, since we can see both sides, it's the aftermath that makes our list.
Are you breaking up with me?
Are you getting back that ring?
Yes.
Eric takes it particularly hard. He doesn't want to get out of bed, his eyes take on a vacant stare, and he finds cool reminders of Donna everywhere.
Fine, I'll just listen to AM.
Post-breakup depression is very real, and it can be hard to take the time to process it, particularly if life and everyone around you won't slow down to let you. But whether it's a drink with your dad or a lot of ice cream, everyone finds some way to keep going.
You can stay in bed and sleep, watch TV, whatever you need to do.
Thank you, Dad.
Number 8. Red and Eric open up to each other as father and son. Speaking of Eric and his dad, the two of them rarely see eye to eye.
Then you should have taken the shot.
What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you always so damn nervous?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you've been yelling at me for 17 years?
But a hunting trip leads to a rare moment of understanding between the two. After Eric misses his shot on a deer, Red berates his bad aim. However, Eric reveals he missed on purpose.
Well, I can respect that more than you being a crappy shot.
What?
Why do you say so?
Why do you think?
Red finds this more worthy of respect, but Eric's fear of telling his father the truth speaks to a deeper problem in how they communicate. Eric tells Red exactly what he thinks of him, and reasons that Red hopes that if he's hard on Eric, Eric won't be pushed around as an adult.
I think you're angry because life didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to. And, maybe you think if you yell at me, I won't let life push me around too.
Anyone who has trouble being open with their parents or with their kids can certainly relate to at least one of them here. Number 7. Eric gets the talk. After Donna decides to go on birth control pills, her parents and Eric's quickly learn about it. This tragically leads to Eric suffering an all-too-familiar teenage nightmare, his parents talking to him about sex.
We can't stop you from doing what you want to do.
Yes, we can.
Red. All I'm saying is, have respect for her.
You respect her by keeping your hands off her.
Kitty is, if anything, too open about it, while Red's insistence on abstinence isn't helpful at all, nor is Lori's presence.
Okay, now, let's talk about birth control.
Birth control? Don't do it. That's your birth control.
I'm gonna pray for you, Eric.
Whether you're hearing about the birds and the bees for the first time or just getting advice on sex, talking with your parents about anything that personal is enough for most teenagers to want to be emancipated just to get away from the conversation.
Foreplay is very important.
Number 6. Sibling secrets. Sibling rivalry crops up on the show a few times, and in different forms.
You did super. And Steven, you did super duper.
Why does he get a duper?
Although Eric getting ignored in favor of new baby Hyde is also relatable, our pick goes to Eric's heated rivalry with his sister Lori. Their mutual hatred arguably reaches its peak when the two of them match wits and embarrassing secrets about each other.
Well, I know some pretty horrible things about you too, little lady. Fellas, Lori here waxes her lips, legs, eyebrows, toes, and shoulder blades.
Anybody with siblings can definitely relate, since they always have the most mortifying blackmail material simply by having grown up alongside you.
Lori was born with a tail! Yeah, Lori was born with a tail!
I hate you!
And granted, not every sibling is as bad as Lori, or Eric with his worst salvo, but all of us still likely pack heavy arsenals. Number 5. In a hurry to grow up. After Eric calls off his wedding with Donna, he's forced to rethink what he wants to do with his life, mostly because Red won't let him eat until he does.
Your job.
I don't know.
Your future.
Okay, I am gonna go ahead and hit you with an... I don't know.
Eventually, Eric realizes that his haste with marrying Donna and his need to grow up fast was pointless. Growing older happens regardless of what we do, so he decides to take it easy in the meantime.
You know, this whole marriage thing has made me think, why am I in such a hurry to grow up? You know, life is like a train. It's bearing down on you, and guess what? It's gonna hit you.
Although his metaphor goes over Kelso's head, we can see where he's coming from. Most of us don't take the time to enjoy our youth or just the present. Kicking back and letting life come to us can be hard for some, but it's also rewarding, whether you get fried chicken or not.
What am I doing about my future? Nothing. When am I moving out? Make me.
Number 4. Getting out of a toxic relationship. That 70s show featured a few breakups during its run, where characters just have to get out.
I love you.
Yeah, well, I don't love you.
Although discussing Jackie's breakup with Hyde was tempting, as rough as it was, this one has a more relatable moment. Kelso does a rare bit of soul-searching after reading the Cosmo article that makes Jackie blame him for her moment of unfaithfulness.
And you said that I'd never be able to support you because I wasn't smart enough. And you're always putting me down like that, and it makes me feel bad about myself.
He tells her that his own cheating was prompted by Jackie putting him down, which he sees as a pattern, deciding they should break up. And while we don't approve of infidelity, we do have to give credit to Kelso for recognizing how unhealthy their relationship is.
I don't think I can be with you anymore. I want to break up.
It can be hard to accept that someone you're close to isn't good for you, much less leave them. Number 3. Grieving for Grandma. The characters deal with grief and sadness in a number of memorable ways during its various seasons.
How do you deal with all of this?
Here we go now, bear. Like
Oh,
the stitches in the smile. The lies on the lips.
And while Eric and Kitty singing their troubles away is something many of us have done, even more of us have lost a relative.
You're very nasty. And I don't see why you have to be so hateful. I don't think being nice for a whole day would kill you.
After Eric's grandmother passes away, the family reacts in many of the typical ways, lashing out, trying to distract themselves, and turning reflective. Death is a part of everyone's lives, and mourning those we've lost is something we'll all experience at some point.
Come here. Eric, come here.
All we can do is appreciate the people in our lives and hope that our loved ones don't meet an ironic fate like Bernice Foreman does. Number 2. Fez experiences racism. While eating dinner with his girlfriend Nina's parents, Fez weathers some racist and prejudiced remarks from them.
They love me. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Great. Then we should get going.
Oh, don't go. Oh, it's such a pleasure having someone so exotic in our home.
Fez is an eccentric, self-proclaimed frisky character, but nobody deserves to be judged based on the color of their skin or their country of origin, wherever that is in Fez's case. It's an unfortunately relatable experience for many viewers. Even if you haven't been discriminated against based on race, chances are that you felt the sting of a stereotype or blanket statement about you or a group you belong to.
Well, you can't be her boyfriend.
Why not?
Because you're, what's the word, honey?
Different?
Okay, different.
Oh, I see.
For instance, as a Canadian channel, we take offense at Kelso's description of our country, even if the maple syrup and ham thing is accurate. Come on, ham is good and nothing beats real maple syrup.
Yep, good old Canada. They don't make generalizations about people because they're too busy playing hockey or getting drunk or putting maple syrup on their ham.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Not in his nature. Procrastinators of the world will unite eventually.
Kelso, you're gonna have to do something about this.
No, but doing something is not in my nature. Ignore, avoid, run away. These words have been very good to me.
The gym. Does anyone feel confident at the gym?
I can't believe I'm back in gym. Or as I like to call it, the Institute of Things I Can't Do.
Red's bedtime story. Sometimes the future looks bleak.
Even if, by some stroke of luck, you actually hang on to Donna, eventually she's gonna turn into that. And then a few years later, you'll die.
Jackie chooses herself. Sometimes the single life feels better.
I had to ask myself a really hard question. Who do I love most? I mean, and the answer was so obvious. It was staring me in the face the whole time. The person I love most is me.
What Eric loves. Who hasn't said the wrong thing? Plus, who doesn't love cake?
I love you, Eric.
I love cake.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. All the hormones. Throughout that 70s show, the gang are flush with hormones, as most of us were as teenagers.
Donna, I'm so glad you're my study partner. Because you make learning fun.
Okay, well, no more study breaks.
Although some bodily changes like acne are brought up from time to time, for the most part, all the teens are obsessed with sex to greater or lesser degrees.
I'm holding out on Donna.
Donna, that's great!
Oh, Foreman, that's hysterical.
So how long has it been?
3 of the longest days of my life.
It plays into many of their conversations and forms the basis of several plot lines. During these formative years, the act can feel all-important, particularly with the aforementioned hormones flooding the body, as well as peer and societal pressure telling us how great it can be.
All I'm saying is we have to wait for the right time.
Okay. How about now?
No.
And we don't all have Red Foreman around to put a damper on things. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.